Hi, I'm Frances, and I want to share this holiday stress relief video with you. It's a little routine that I cooked up for you for the holidays, and it's just going to stretch you out and really relax you. We're going to do a little bit of movement with breath, which is super relaxing. When we slow down and move with the breath and slow down our breath, our heart rate slows down and our nervous system slows down. And believe it or not, we can affect our whole hormonal system with that. Cortisol is reduced and the feel-good hormones get a chance to kick in. So without further ado, I'm going to take you through a holiday stress relief routine. All right, I'd like you to stand on your mat with your feet about hip width apart. You could also sit down. You want to have a nice flat chair and sit on the edge of the chair with your feet right under your knees. But if you can stand up, go ahead and do that. And we're going to start by learning how to link movement with breath with a really simple movement. Here we go. It's called Tadasana. When we sweep our arms up all the way and they're pointing towards the ceiling, that's Tadasana. And so we do that movement with a clear pause and a clear pause at the end. So you may not be able to do the first movement. So here's a modified movement. So if you can move your arms that far, do it. And then another option would be just to flip your arms, almost just opening your hands. So standing on your mat or sitting firmly with your spine long, sweep your arms up, pause for 2 seconds, and then sweep them back down again. That's it. And then up again, and you always want to hold for 2 seconds. And then when you lower your arms, you're also going to hold that Samasthiti pose, standing pose for 2 seconds. Good. Okay, finish this one, and then I'd like you to link this movement to breath. So you're going to start with your hands by your side, and as you inhale, sweep the arms up. Hold the breath and the movement together for 2 seconds, and then lower the arms with the exhale, 2-second pause. And we just want to start linking movement with breath. Anytime you're lifting those arms, you pause for 2 seconds at the end, exhale, lowering, and pause for 2 seconds at the end. Okay, now we're going to work on doing this with just one arm. So we're going to start with both of our arms by our side, and you're going to just sweep up one arm, just the right arm, say. And you're going to go to the height that works for you. So if going above the shoulders is problematic, then you're just going to sweep your arm up to about shoulder height. And I'm demonstrating that in the video, but what I'd like you to do is to just do the best arm movement of your choice and start now. So you're just going to exhale and then breathe in, sweep one arm up to the best arm height for you, pause, and then lower that arm. Pause for 2. Every time you inhale, you're raising an arm, and you hold the breath for 2 seconds. And even if you're just doing it by sort of rotating the arm open, palm forward, and then bring it back down again. Okay, good. So I want you to finish with this one, and we're going to move on to another pose. And here, I'm just doing an extra arms up, but we're not going to do that. So take a moment to just stand, and then we're going to take our legs hip a wide length apart, leg length apart. And we're going to start with that one arm going up. So you can just watch for a moment. And you're going to take a nice side stretch with the exhale. So you're just going to really lengthen out that side. Nice. And good. And then lower the arm with the exhale. Now you're going to do the other arm. It's going to raise up with the inhale. And then you're going to take a side stretch with the exhale. Always you're going to have that little 2-second pause. And then come up with the inhale. Clear pause. And lower that arm. Okay? And you're going to, of course, take your arm to the appropriate height for you. Even if it's just pointing out to the side, that's fine. So you're going to inhale, the arm goes up. Exhale, side stretch. Take your time to do that movement within the breath. Pause for 2 seconds. Come up to center. And then lower the arm. You're going to complete the other side and then one more set after that. So you're going to inhale the arm up. Exhale over to one side. Inhale back up to center when you're ready. And then lower that arm. Good. One could even, of course, keep the arms right by your side. So we'll do another set. The arm goes up with the inhale. Nice side stretch. Clear pause at the end. Inhale. Oh, we're going on to the next one. Exhale forward. Okay, so that's not good. All right, so starting this over. Okay. Good, so you should continue. You should continue until you're even on both sides, either 2 sets or 3 sets. And then we're going to add to this movement. So it's always fun to learn flow step by step. So now, if you watch the video, you're going to see that I start the sequence the same. The inhale, the arm up to the height, of course, which is appropriate for you. Exhale, I'm going to go over into that side stretch. I'm going to stay for the inhale here. And that's going to open up the ribs. And then I'm going to exhale into a nice forward bend. And if you're flexible, the hands go between the feet. Roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, head comes up last. And then you'll do the other side. You'll exhale there, and then you'll inhale the arm up. Nice long side stretch. Take a breath in when you're in the side stretch so that you're opening up the side of the chest. And then sweep forwards and around into a nice long forward bend. And you can roll up vertebrae by vertebrae after each repetition. And then you'll want to exhale. Now, you will continue on raising the arm to the height appropriate for you. You inhale the arm up, exhale over. So this will be your first set, unless you've been following along, and that's okay if you know the tape and have followed it. You're gonna stay for that in-breath and then exhale forward. You may not go all the way to the ground. You could always just put your hands on your legs and roll up. So this class is designed so that you can observe and watch, and then you could stop the tape and just practice it yourself. And then once you kind of have a good understanding of the sequence, you could just follow along. So inhaling one arm up, pause, exhale, nice side stretch, pause, inhale in that side stretch, that's easy to miss, and go forward, either supporting yourself on your legs, either above the knee or below the kneecap, and roll up. Excellent. So you can do one more set, or you can, yes, we're going to do one more set. Nice side stretch. Inhale that arm up, clear pause. Exhale, side stretch. Stay for the breath in. Open that chest with that breath. And then exhale forwards. Nice, relaxed forward bend to your best ability with ease. Roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Very good. And the last time on the other side. Inhale that arm up. Clear pause. Exhale, nice side stretch, really lengthening out. Use that breath in to expand into your side. Clear pause. And then exhale, swing forwards into your forward bend of your preferred depth. And roll up vertebrae by vertebrae with an inhale. and pause and relax. Very good. So that's a lovely warm-up sequence or something you can do in the afternoon. So we are going to move on. Okay. So coming down onto your hands and knees. Now this is a sequence that may be difficult if you have carpal tunnel syndrome in your wrists. Some people quite easily adapt by putting their fist on the ground and keeping that wrist really nice and stable and rigid. And of course, if you have carpal tunnel syndrome, a wrist brace might be a good thing here. Or you could do this with a chair. So I will just continue on as though, and the next time I do a tape for you, I will definitely include the chair version of this. Okay, basically you're just going to place your hands on a chair and do the exact same movements as if you were kneeling. All right, so Chakravarkasana moves the spine into both flexion or forward bend and then up into extension, especially of the upper spine. And if you look at the video here, you'll see how flat it is right there. And that's because, you know, most of our spines don't really reverse there. I'm pretty sure there's some really flexible people who would. Here's where our backs really curve really nicely, right there. Okay, but when you watch me go back, here I am getting on my hands and knees. Okay, I go back, the hips go back, and then I just relax, sort of waterfall forward and relaxed. The head and chest impulse me forward, and then I get that little bit of an extension in the spine and the upper spine. And the hips lead me back, clear pause. And then the inhale brings me up and I'm lifting the head, expanding the chest, shifting forwards with the hips. Okay, so get on your hands and knees and you can give this a try. You want to make sure that your knees are under your hips and your hands are about under your shoulders or slightly forwards. You're going to take a big breath in here and then you're going to shift your hips back towards your heel. Your knees are together, by the way. And then waterfall forward with your spine until your head is moving towards the ground. Pause and then inhale, lift the head, lift the chest, shift the hips forwards. I'm shifting a little forwards, too much forwards in the video, and we want to keep the hips more or less over the knees. And you're just moving with your breath. Chakravarkasana is so therapeutic. You're moving the spine in flexion and then extension. And extension is another word for back bend, but it really refers to mostly the upper chest. So I want you to repeat this about 4 or 5 times. And then if you'd like to pause for a moment, you're going to see that we can create a little extra back bend here by lifting a leg. So after you've done 4 to 6 repetitions of the plain or no legs Chakravarkasana, then as you come up in the normal way, but about at the third halfway through, you lift the leg, lengthen out through the toe, and then as you start to shift back, bring the knee in and go back. And you can just alternate legs that way. And you want to make sure you still stay really focused on lifting the head, lifting the chest as you come forward, and then the leg lifts at about halfway through. And then you pause, and then you bring the knee in as you start to go back. And this brings a little more arch to the back. So if you have issues with your lower back, you may not find this comfortable, in which case you would, of course, stop. Never do anything in yoga that's uncomfortable. And I'd just like you to repeat that, alternating sides, 3 or 4 times per side, or 6 to 8 times. And when you're done, if you'd like, you can just rest back in the child's pose position for a moment. So just take your time to move with the breath. You're inhaling as you come forwards. You're exhaling as you go back. You're having a clear pause in between each of those phases of breath. And you're being very mindful to lengthen out through the toes rather than feel as though you're lifting that leg. It's more of an extension of the leg out through the toes. Good. And so take your time to finish so that you're even on both sides. And if you'd like, rest in child's pose for a few breaths. And then we're just going to stretch out, if that's comfortable for you, to lie down on your mat, on your back. For some people, they need to put a little bit of something behind their head. That's okay. Just a folded towel to elevate your head to relieve if your neck is too tight, and it kind of lifts your chin. And some people also like something under their knees. If you're comfortable with your legs stretched right out, that's great. Don't put anything under. But if it seems to feel uncomfortable in your low back, then you would want to roll up or use a bolster or a blanket rolled up underneath your knees. And I just want you to lay there and feel your body. Just scan through it. We've been moving and stretching and breathing. And you can start with your feet and notice how they feel. You can have a sensation of sinking into the ground and getting heavier. And just keep moving through your body, noticing. Sometimes it's nice to stay a little bit of time on your face, when we relax the forehead and the eyes and the cheeks and the lips. It does kind of extend through the rest of the body. It spreads through that relaxation. So take a moment or two there, and then just stay with the breath. Just feel the breath moving the body. You just want to have a sense of being breathed. We're not changing anything. We're just noticing maybe the movement of our chest as we breathe, or the sound of breath as we're breathing, or there's a cool sensation of air moving through your nose and throat. So take your time to just focus on the breath for another few moments. Another few breaths, one or two more breaths. Could you bend up your knees one at a time? Just bend up one knee, put the foot flat on the floor, and then bend up the other leg and put that one flat on the floor. And then you're going to roll over onto your side, and we're just taking care, not to be too strained. And we're going to do a nice forward bend. Forward bends are very relaxing. It stretches out the back of the body, the legs, the hamstrings and the back, and even all the way around to the forehead across the scalp. So with both feet out in front of you, you're going to bring one knee up, bend it, and then let it go out to the side. And just watch for a moment. You can bend the knee a little bit, or you could alternatively sit upon a blanket. Okay? So you're going to raise your arms with the inhale to the height that is appropriate for you. Yeah. And then you are going to exhale and hinge from the hips. So you're going to bring those arms up with the inhale. Then your exhale, hinge forwards and really relax. Let's just let our hands be together on our leg and our whole body just relax. And you're going to stay and breathe for at least 2 breaths. Nice, slow, smooth breaths so that you can really allow that stretch to be organic and move through your body. And then when you're done with those 2 breaths, you can just roll up. So you're just going to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Good. And then you're going to repeat that 2 more times. You're just going to inhale, the arms go up, nice long spine. Exhale, hinge forwards, and just relax. Just let yourself soften and melt over your leg. Take your time. You're going to repeat that 3 times on each side. And you'll take 2 breaths every time in the forward bend just to really relax and let that stretch deepen and roll up when you're done. Okay, so 3 repetitions. Nice, smooth inhale, clear pause, and exhale. Relaxing forwards. Really relaxing and letting those breaths be soft and full. Moving through your body. And when you've done one side, you will, of course, take a moment to observe. So after you roll up, and take your time to finish wherever you're at, and if you roll up, you'll just put both legs out in front of you and take about 10 seconds or a couple of breaths to just let everything settle. And then you're going to bring that knee up, bend the foot up, put it on the ground, open it out to the side, exhale to prepare, and inhale, you'll sweep the arms out, exhale, a nice forward bend. 3 times on this side. Just letting yourself stay for 2 smooth breaths in that forward bend. With real relaxation, we want to have a lot of ease in this pose. You notice that I'm not pulling, and I don't want you to pull on your foot. Just letting your hands kind of go to where they reach. In the video, I have come up in an alternative way with the arms up, and that's what a more strong way to come up. But for our purposes here, we're just going to roll up every single time. And that's nice and safe for you. And then that's step 1, and step 2 would be coming up with a straight back rather than rolling up. So take your time and really enjoy those forward bends. And when you're breathing in the pose, you want to take nice slow breaths with clear pauses. Good. And when you come up again from that last one, just extend your legs for a moment or 2 so that you are feeling an even posture. And you should always just take your time. People go at a different rate. You may be finished by now, or you may be still finishing, because people breathe at different rates. So it's important to just try to maintain the same rate throughout a practice and understand that it will be a little bit different from the next person. So again, when you've finished, both legs extended, take a moment or 2. And then we're just going to do a quick little chest opener. So you're going to put your hands behind you, and you're going to either point them towards your bum or point them out towards the side. And that's important. They shouldn't go back. The easy version is you cross the bent leg over that leg, and when you inhale, you really arch the spine with the head lengthening in a very smooth curve. So you don't want to drop the head right back. You just want to lift that chest and then sort of bring the head into alignment with the curve that that's making. So you'll do 3 breaths on one side, and then you'll just switch to the other side. And then there's another version for if you are in a position where your wrists and everything else is feeling good. You can bend up one knee, lift the chest, and lift the hips too, and come up into a sort of a half upward plank. And it's the same deal. You want to use the chest movement, the inhale to that chest, to kind of lead the movement, and you want to watch that you're not dropping the head, and the chin comes down quite quickly as you come down. And you'll switch legs, of course, and do it 3 times on each side. So take your time to finish those, and that's the last pose of this session. So you'll be doing 3 on one side, 3 on the other, or 6 repetitions of upward plank, whichever modified version you prefer. And then you'll take a moment on your back. So we're going to take a very quick moment on our back. So stretch out, but do be sure to put a support under your head if that is needed, if your chin is higher than your nose, or under your knees if your back feels uncomfortable. But we won't stay here long. It's just a quick moment to scanning through your body, noticing, relaxing, feeling as though you're unwinding. And then a moment or 2 to feel the movement of the chest as you breathe. Just feel that it's rising softly with each breath. You're not doing anything to change it. And you might hear the breath too, or feel it in your nose. Just that moment of being inward and focused, creating that relationship with your breath, learning to hear what it tells you, Maybe right now it's telling you that you're relaxed, that you could unwind just a little more in just another 2 breaths. And then when you feel ready, could you please bend up your legs one at a time so that they're both bent and the feet are on the floor. And again, we're going to roll over to our side and come to a seated position. There are many really super flexible people that can sit right on their mat. After even 30 years of yoga, that's not me. So I'm going to go get my blanket here in this video. And it's very important that you have a nice long spine. So you may even wish to sit on a chair. It's really important that you feel very comfortable and at ease. The pranayama is the best part of the practice, and it's really a focusing practice and a breathing practice. So sitting comfortably with your hands on your knees, and we're going to open the hands with the in-breath and touch each finger in turn with the exhale. It's much slower than I'm demonstrating in this video, okay? But as you can see, I'll have done 4 breaths by the time I go through that one hand. So we'll do 3 repetitions or 12 breaths. So exhale to prepare, and with the inhale, open your hands, clear pause. Exhale, bring your finger and thumb together. Another pause of 1 or 2 seconds. Each inhale, you're just going to be opening those hands. Each exhale, you're touching the next finger in turn. So the next breath will be the ring finger. So you're opening as you breathe in, exhaling as you touch. And the last finger that you're going to use to count on is that pinky finger. You inhale, open the hands, and touch that finger. That's 1 set. So continue on. We call this finger to thumb breath. Inhale, opening the hands with each breath in your own rhythm of breath. Exhaling, touching first the index finger, in turn, on each exhale, in turn, touching a different finger. Keep in mind that after each inhale, there's a clear pause of 1 or 2 seconds. And after each exhale, a pause. Take your time to cycle through 12 breaths. You may be finishing the 2nd set. You may be starting the 3rd. Wherever you are, that's okay. And when you're done, you're just going to take your hands and turn them palms down on your legs in a comfortable kind of a way. And you're going to just stay focused on the breath for another moment or so. In your own practice, to stay seated and focused on the breath, it's nice for a minute. And about 12 breaths of pranayama. And then relax, put your hands down and just stay focused on the movement of your chest, on the feeling of breath in your body. The gaze is inwards towards your heart. And you're just keeping that focus. Keep returning to the breath. And that becomes a very easy thing to do. To begin to notice your breath and to lengthen it, and your mind will just so naturally become smoother, and your nervous system will calm down, and you're relieving your stress. So I want to thank you so much. I hope that this was a really good experience for you and that you learned a little bit about how to use the breath to relax and how stretching can be so relaxing, and a little bit just about how this type of yoga can work for you. So have a terrific holiday season, And we'll see you in the new year. Just a heads up, there's going to be a 12-week course for your personal development and to learn sun salutation. So take care and see you soon. Bye for now.